Welcome back to the Nerdrotic channel. My name is Gary Buechler. I am live in San Francisco, California, and I come to you from nerdrotic.com. And this is the Nerdrotic Nooner, Monday, June 11th, 2018. And how the hell is everybody? Welcome, everybody. Thanks to everybody for waiting. This is a show where it's a solo show. It started out as just practice on doing solo work on the channel, and it just kind of turned into a regular thing. Hello, everybody. And it's just my conversation with you in the chat. I will straighten out my camera, and then I will lay out some topics on the table. We can talk about them. If you don't want to talk about them, we can move on. We could talk about whatever you want to talk about. So today, I'm going to actually an article. I changed the title to this podcast. It was going to be Westworld, the Expanse Legion Week in Review, and that's kind of what it's going to be from here on out. It's going to be us kind of going over the shows we cover. And oh wow, thank you, Dakota Stanton. I am good, Gary. Good job on 4,000 subscribers. I joined during the Gifted and STD reviews. I believe you guys were under 3,000 at the time. Great job, you guys. We were under 1,000 at the time, Dakota. We got to 1,000 subscribers on December 28th. 2017, 4 weeks ago during Westworld. I believe it was the second or third episode. No, it was the fourth episode. Sorry. We hit 2,000, and in the last 4 weeks, we've gained 2,000 more subscribers, 2,100 to be exact. So it has been very exciting, and we are super grateful. And we're going to step up our game. You know, we're going to try. I don't know about production values, but we're going to try to cover more stuff. And I will talk about that. And I'm also going to, forgive me, reset for all the new subscribers, reset kind of like how this channel was happened, how it was created, and all that fun stuff. But also the reason I changed the title from, and again, thank you, Dakota, for $5. You're so super generous, always super chatting away. I hope we're worth it. We will make it worth it. So the reason I changed the title real quick is because, you know, we've gotten a lot of Westworld and especially Expanse subscribers. So I try to put Expanse in as much as I can, as long as it's relevant. Okay. I'm not going to piecemeal you out a bunch of BS just to clickbait you in. I promise I won't do that. But there was a cool Deadline article on kind of how the Expanse was saved. And I just kind of perused it, but we'll go over it together in a second. And hello, Mark and YouTube Vlog Life, who is a long time sub to our channel back in the day. Were we at like 300 subs, YouTube Vlog Life, when you were around? It was James Hayes, how are you? Silver Spike in the UK. Hello. Mako. Rough Girl, what's up? Mary Ashmead. Did I say that right, Mary? I apologize if I screwed that up. Only child, so thank freaking God I never have to do this again. Actually, I'm making my husband teach him more. Oh, this is crosstalk. Sorry, I should read up more before I start in there. Dakota Stanton said, oh, it's just a repeat of the super chat. There you go. Hi, everybody. How's it going? I did a quick video earlier that was supposed to be a thank you from a Vista Point in San Francisco, and I got the view right, and then I didn't realize that I burned out my phone at the gym, so my phone died, so I just pulled it down. So, you know, I am going to do an on location with this in the near future. I'm thinking I want to go to the first place that Dennis and I did a podcast, which was just a Starbucks in West Portal. Because there's nothing like super visual around here that's not, you know, inside. You know, I can't do one outside because I could probably barely read the chats, and it would be really annoying because some people just listen to us on iTunes. So that's why I like to do as much as I can in the studio. But there are some great locations around here. I was thinking Golden Gate Bridge, but it's pretty windy today. But it's a beautiful day. Beautiful day in here in San Francisco. So real quick reset on, and forgive me if you've heard this before, you old time subscribers. How this channel got started. So Dennis and I have known each other for over 17 years. We met at a comic shop that I ended up buying and owning for 10 years. And we started out arguing. I think we were debating over, some Hellboy stuff, and and a great relationship blossomed from there. We have been actually I've been to more cons with him than my wife. We have been to, I think, 13 cons together, a lot of Comic Cons together, and Wonder Cons and stuff. And he's worked with me. He's been the art director at the Comic Outpost. He made this beautiful Galactus painting to go behind my life-size Silver Surfer that is still in the shop to this very day. The one I do not own. It's called the Comics Experience Outpost now. It's on Ocean Avenue. Please shop there. Brian Hibbs is the owner, and he is a big time comic shop owner. He's sued Marvel and won. That's kind of cool. So back to how the channel got started. Dennis and I had known each other for a long time. I had just sold the Comic Outpost on December 15th, 2013. And it was a couple weeks. I was pretty depressed, to be honest with you. And Dennis's brother had just died at the same time. So we were both like really depressed. Dennis had to come back to San Francisco. He had moved to San Diego at the time. He grew up here. I actually grew up in San Diego and moved here. It's kind of weird how we switched. And we just needed to commiserate a little bit. We're like, dude, we need to kind of forget things right now. Let's do a podcast. We used to do a bunch of podcasts for the Comic Outpost. Our old podcast was called We Have Issues. You cannot find them anywhere. I am trying to find them to put them up on iTunes, and I'm having a little trouble finding them. So yeah, so we were both bummed and needed to forget about stuff. So there was the CW TV shows had just started at the time. We had Arrow. And so we did a podcast inside of a Starbucks in West Portal. And actually, it's kind of funny. It's kind of a funny podcast. We even got a sponsor. A guy sat down and gave us $5 and told us to plug something. I can't even remember. I think it was his music channel. So we got our sponsor, and we haven't had one since, to be honest with you. Other than you find super chatters and patrons, but not like a official sponsor. And yeah, we did a podcast, and it was about Sleepy Hollow, Arrow. We started our epic two-year crapping on Batman versus Superman. That was started then. And yeah, it was about an hour long. You hear a bunch of background noise, and it is on our website at nerdrotic.com. If you search it, you can find it. And I believe it's still on iTunes. I do believe it is. It is not on YouTube. Actually, I'm in the process of some of our older YouTube videos I like to produce and put music into. And I'm starting to get copyright claims. So I'm just going to get rid of them. And you can just go to our website to see those older. You don't want to see that older stuff or hear it. It's, you know. So yeah, we've been doing this for 4 years, almost 5 years now. And we've been doing the YouTube thing pretty hardcore for just over a year now. And it's turned out okay. It's turned out okay for doing everything wrong. Okay, we show our faces, our videos are too long, our reviews are too long. Yeah, we just do everything wrong, but that's okay. That's okay. Okay. Oh wow, Mary, thank you. $2 for congratulations on 4,000 viewers or 4,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Hi, Jan. Hi, Bad Bunny. I do have a question. Can you explain the heroin pick? What heroin pick, Dakota? The girl who's on our banner? Is that what you're talking about? That is, if you're asking about that, that is Cosmic Crater Girl. That is a creation of my wife, Melissa, and she used to be a little punk rock girl back in the 80s, and her little girl gang was called the Cosmic Crater Girls. They were like an art school gang, a gang of like artists. And I just we turned her into kind of a tank girl-ish superhero, and that art is drawn by Derek Robertson of The Boys and Transmetropolitan fame. And there's another version of her right there. And that was official art from the Comic Outpost, if that's what you're talking about. I'm not sure. Oh, yes, you said yes. Yes, that is Cosmic Crater Girl. So she is our mascot, basically. You've been watching for 2 years. So yeah, YouTube Vlog Life, you were there in the early days. Yeah, 2 years ago, we had under 300 subscribers. We did. So let's go to this article. with The Expanse, talking about The Expanse and how Jeff Bezos saved it, and he did, and I'll extrapolate a little bit after we read this because I haven't read the whole thing, so we could go through this together. It's from Deadline, which is honestly the only entertainment website I fully trust. I used to trust the Hollywood Reporter, but they've kind of gotten bad. Okay, Amazon Studios boss on how The Expanse was saved and would it also rescue Lucifer. That would make my wife happy. In one of the feel-good stories, this what? Okay. In one of the feel-good stories this upfront, The Expanse was picked up by Amazon just days after Sci-Fi opted to not to renew the sci-fi drama series for a fourth season. As part of an interview with Deadline, new Amazon Studios head Jennifer Salk shared the wild behind-the-scenes story on how a quick rescue was pulled off and revealed whether the streaming platform is interested in another recently canceled genre drama series with a cult following, Lucifer, as well as Norman Lear's comedy pilot Guess Who Died, which didn't go to series at NBC. Interesting. We are talking about Lucifer, Salk said during an interview held last Thursday. Interesting. I know that international, especially the UK group, was really bullish on this show. I haven't checked in on it today, Thursday, but I heard conversations were going on about it yesterday. That's news right there. The Expanse pickup announcement followed an elaborate fan campaign that included renting a plane to fly Save the Expanse, hashtag Save the Expanse banner over Amazon headquarters. It was made in dramatic fashion by Amazon's chairman himself, Jeff Bezos, at the National Space Society's International Space Development Conference in Los Angeles, where he was an honoree an hour or so after the Expanse cast and showrunner had done a panel at the same event. It's almost like it was planned. There were airplanes circling us. I was having cakes delivered. That's hilarious. There was a whole thing happening, Salk said of the Expanse campaign. And then really smart people whose opinions I really value creatively started reaching out to me saying, have you seen this show? The Expanse is actually great. I hadn't. So I spent some time. I watched the show and I was like, this show is actually really well done. Why is nobody watching it? At the same time, and I totally disagree with that. People were watching it. Okay, we'll get to that. Jeff Bezos was getting emails from everyone from George R. R. Martin to to every captain of industry, like the founder of Craigslist. Wow. And they were all writing saying that there's this show. It's so great. You have to see it. You have to buy it or save it. We are trying to explore the deal, and we could make the U.S. Deal pretty easily because they were kind of just standing outside, holding it out for us. What it had pretty much done. We had it pretty much done when Bezos emailed saying, I'm at the event, a space seminar. I'm looking at the cast of The Expanse here. I would like to get up there and order the show. Can I? That's awesome. I was like, let me check with the business affairs. And then replied, you can do it. Go for it. That's funny that Jeff Bezos was asking for permission. That's hilarious. It was so fun to watch it on Twitter Live. I could see him do it in real time. Yeah, that was freaking unbelievable. Unbelievable. So yes, he's a big fan, and it was fun and fun to be able to support it. Not just for sorry, I'm a horrible reader. Not just for him, but for all the people that really love the show. New co-head TV Vernon Sanders really loved the show. And so he was saying, we can make that. God, there's so and so's. What's up with this writing? We could make the show into something. A lot of really smart people said they loved the show, including all of you people in the chat. And I actually appreciated it once I looked at it. All right, this will help me. Asked whether Amazon is considering picking up series, any broadcast pilots passed over by their networks. Salk mentioned the NBC single camera retirement home comedy Guess Who Died. a longtime passion project of TV great Norman Lear, which she said championed in her previous role as president, or she championed it in her previous role as president at entertainment at NBC because of the content. Amazon was considering a potential home for the project after NBC opted not to pick up the pilot to series, but it was a long shot at best. And it talks about the Norman Lear stuff, and that's great. We love, Norman Lear. Is he still alive? I don't even know, but I don't want to read the rest of that. So that was cool. What they kind of failed to mention. I mean, that's great that they mentioned the plane, but they failed to mention that they were going to put a Rosie in space, which was awesome. And they also failed to mention the Facebook groups, like Everything Expanse, the other YouTubers who were going out, Doomcock, the Nerdrotic channel. In a very small way, we helped. Okay, listen, our biggest video is almost at 60,000, which is, I mean, in the big picture at YouTube is nothing. I understand that, but yeah, it was fun to just play a part, even if it was just a little part. I was totally okay with that. Yeah, so that's really fun. It was good time had by all. Let's see what you guys have to say in the chat here. Oh my God, all the windows. Here we go. And yes, just a reminder, hit the at Nerdrotic channel if you really want me to see your question. I'm going to try to read everything. Okay. Here we go. Emailed saying, I'm at an event, a space dinner. I'm looking at the cast of The Expanse right now. I would like to get up there and order the show. Can I, Grady? Yeah, that's an awesome quote. And Lucifer's worth saving. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the source material. And I think if it went to Amazon, they can get a lot closer to that. I mean, the budgets are bigger at, your network still. I don't know why, but I think Amazon could do something way more nuanced with Lucifer, as opposed to just being a procedural cop drama. Huge fan of The Expanse. It's been watching it since day one, says Mary. Yes. I started actually, I guess they premiered it in 2015. They showed the first episode or two. I missed that, but I caught it when they brought it in later in January, and yeah, ate it up. I read the first 3 books, so I knew it had potential, said Mary. Yeah, definitely. Have you read the rest of the books? The books 1 through 5 are phenomenal. Did you read the article that claims fans have annoyed Amazon into bringing it back? Said Jan. If that's what we did, cool. I will look into those. Yeah, The Expanse is my number 1 show. Counterpart number 2, Westworld and Legion number 3. Mark, yeah, that's pretty much. Oh man, I can't pick one over the other, and I'm glad I don't have to. YouTube vlog life like Expanse, Star Trek Discovery, and Orville. I like 2 of those 3, but we can all, hey, it's always cool. You don't have to agree on everything we say. Please don't. Westworld last night was beyond. I cried through most of it, said Grady Bros. Grady, it was, and Mark, yeah, when I get to the theories later, I'm going to have to throw up the spoiler sign because we do have to talk about that a little bit, but that's going to be later. So you don't have to worry about it right now. That episode really showed that show has a ton of heart. And I think that was Melissa, my wife, was kind of like, oh, it's just too dark. And I'm like, it's really not. You got to watch it, the whole thing. There is levity, there is humor in it. But it was going down that dark road, and it was so interesting and different what they did last night. Bringing in this whole new character, centering the show around him, and just fully developing him and showing that there's different ways to get to different conclusions. I'm saying stuff really vaguely so it doesn't spoil. That really changed the show in a very positive way. So if I heard similar complaints to Westworld season 1. About halfway through, some people were just like, hey, it's confusing, I don't understand it, and that's cool. You can feel that way, but like stick with it, because this show doesn't it's not lost. It's not your normal JJ Abrams property. They answer questions in a reasonable amount of time. It's funny that you're reviewing my top 3, and I am watching right now. Says Mary. Yeah, I was thinking about, I'm going to do 3 separate videos on basically the best shows on TV are on right now. You need to be watching them. I need to hurry up though, because one's not going to be on right now after Tuesday. But Legion, although I'm not a huge fan of Netflix dropping everything at once and binging stuff later is totally cool. And I think Legion is kind of best binged. Because it's just so freaking beautiful. Bad Bunny. Make sure you wear a condom while watching STD. Yeah, Grady says no spoilers, just amazing writing and acting. Yeah, the acting last night. Was it you, Grady, who said like he needs to win awards? Because yes. So I've watched it again, and that was a a beautiful performance. It really was. I want to see that guy in so much more. I hope he's a main character now. I really do. Actually, I'm forgetting their names, but the Shogun actors too. I want to see them come back. There's so many places they could go with the show. So I was wondering, like, where can you go with it for 5 seasons? But now I can see things are not going to get wrapped up clean this season at all. It would help Amazon with update shows, which is what people complain about. Update shows. Yeah. Fans make it happen. They saved Angels years ago, says Rough Girl. Yeah, they do. I mean, fans can save shows. There have been successes. So, I mean, freaking Family Guy. Family Guy was a show that I'm not the biggest fan. I'm not a fan of it at all, but I appreciate like how that came back, and Arrested Development. Who's going to do the Expanse graphic novels? I'm not sure. Like, actually, if Feisty shows up today, she can answer that question. There is one prequel graphic novel out there, Grady. The art's kind of so. It really needs like good sci-fi art. Mary has not read the rest of the books, ordering them as audio on Amazon. Yeah, they're great audiobooks, Mary. Fantastic. I'm about to go on a trip myself, and I got my Expanse audiobooks. I'm okay. So this trip I'm going on is to VidCon. All right. It's down in Anaheim. It's in like 10 days. I've already paid for my tickets. I got my hotel. And then I looked at the lineup, and I'm like, man, I paid $250 I mean, like, the trip is pretty cheap. Okay. I went to the cheapest hotel. I know SoCal really well. So I found a really cheap Motel 6 that, doesn't have, bed bugs or anything like that. And that I'm getting like for $60 a night. And then it was $250 to go in. But there's honestly only like 3 panels I want to go to. So I'm probably just going to walk around and see if I can see some like famous YouTubers. And I don't know. And I'll do some live streams from there with like everybody else who's going to be doing them. So I think I'm mainly going down there to people watch. See if I can see like Mundane Matt, or I think Smosh is doing a Q&A. My kid freaking loves Smosh. Those guys are actually, that's a good story. I like that story. There I go. Westworld, and yet I've seen a lot of people moaning about it online, which is disappointing. Yeah, that's actually in the Reddit. Yeah, I don't understand it. There is some hate for that show. I don't understand it. But whatever, it's not huge. I mean, the show, it gets talked about a lot. It gets pretty damn good ratings. So yeah, and people bitching about a show, it doesn't stop like CBS All Access from doing season 2 of Star Trek, and it looks like they're instead of maybe trying to fix that show, it looks like they're doubling down on what they were doing in season 1, which is going to be really fun to cover. It's going to be really fun to cover. Doomcock, I told Doomcock in a private message, which I can tell you, that I look forward to him passing 100,000 subscribers after Star Trek Discovery season 2 drops, because he will. He is the main eviscerator of that show. What did Rough Girl say? I want to read. Okay, well, this is it was a coincidence that I just went to a training on Friday about the history of Native American people and the trauma they went through. And then you watch that episode. Yeah. Mark, you are so right. But Angel went out with the best season or series finale ever. Could not agree more. I want to slay the dragon. Dude. Oh, that was so oh man, but they kind of did a good job in the IDW comics, season 6 and stuff. But God, we could have. Season 5 was Angel's best season by far. It was so freaking good. The addition of Spike was unbelievable, and yes, we are going to be covering that show. I started to I think I started liking Angel more than Buffy in season 5. If they had stayed at that rate, Gary has a trip plan and all he wants to do is podcast and talk to us. Yes, that's pretty much it. Plus, I mean, I'm going alone. So going someplace alone kind of blows, but I don't mind doing it. I spend a lot of time alone sometimes. PewDiePie. I secretly love that dude. Legion, I want to binge. Like Lost, you got to go back and freeze frame stuff. Rewatch scenes. It needs analysis the way Twin Peaks needed it. But it's more of an art film than TV series. Correct. Is Twin Peaks coming back? We meant to cover that and we never did. Doomcock and I are going to talk about it eventually, but I kind of want to cover it. No, I do not cosplay Bad Bunny. No. We are at Comic-Con, but it's going to be kind of a troll job. This year I'm going to go up in panels. I'm doing something for the channel I would normally never do. I'm going to wait in line for panels. So we're going to go in to as many panels as we can, and we're going to try to ask questions. I've gone to Comic-Con for 35 plus years. I think it's 37 years. Like most of my life, I have gone to Comic-Con. And I've never asked a question at a panel. Never. Taste is perspective, Mako. You are correct. Frankly, there's been a lot of alt-right boys and even Evan Rachel Wood and her openness on social media about feminism that has generated some unfortunate backlash. Yeah, I mean, I guess, yeah. There's always the okay. So this is tricky stuff because I really don't like to get into it here. But there is that crowd who sees it's controversial, and it's people's openness on Twitter is a tough subject because I fully believe in free speech. But free speech also goes both ways. If you go out there and announce your beliefs and you get a little clap back, don't say, oh, well, I'm getting, don't say you're getting harassed because you smacked first. Okay. And, harassment can be a very broad term. There is harassment that happens every day. But there's also just people disagreeing with you. And I think, honestly, both sides are very disingenuous in some of their arguments. That's all I got to say. As a true centrist, I go issue by issue. There's definitely some stuff going on in comic books that's horrible, and it's bringing down the industry. Okay. But I don't know. It's that's why that's why I never jumped into the whole Comicsgate thing. That's why I just stayed out of it. I'm a quiet observer. I need to know what's going on because I'm planning on opening a store. But what's going on in that is, I was really agreeing with one side for a little while, but then they started attacking people personally, and I'm not about that at all. I mean, you want to make fun of content, and that's I think that's fair game. But people making fun of people is it's just not cool. But it gets you lots of clicks on the YouTube, lots of views on a YouTube channel, lots of subs. So there it is there. Again, that's part of what not doing everything wrong here, and we like it. Yeah, we'll give people shit, but no personal attacks. The Expanse graphic novels from the Boom are written by Haley Lambert and Georgia Lee, with art done by Hong Danlin. Thank you, James Hayes. Actually, Feisty is going to send me up one from her undisclosed shop. Do we know what language they were speaking last night, Grady? It was Lakota. Lakota. And yet lots of people hated the what's I'm sorry, what's the ATS final? But I loved it. What's ATS? I know you when you tell me. I'm gonna go duh. Um, yeah, Spike. Yeah, last night's episode was so good. Viking bitch is a belter. Yeah, belter Creole. Are you talking about Expanse or Westworld? You know what I've noticed with the Expanse on the views for channels, like a lot of people watch it on Sunday. Like we get a boost in our views on Expanse recaps on Sunday, like a huge one, a noticeable one. So I don't know if it airs somewhere else on Sunday or if it repeats or something like that, or people just save it. I don't know. I don't know. Rough Girl, they say that Westworld is for the rich to live through host. Is that right? It's for rich people to live without consequence. Not everything is political, but some people will drag political into everything. Word, Viking bitch, word. I mean, listen, there's stuff that's political, there's stuff that's heavy-handed political, and it's actually hurt their intellectual property, one that will never be named on this channel again, but you know what I'm talking about. That is there. I'm not denying that, and that is completely ruined comics too. But there are also times where they're seeing ghosts where there's no ghosts. They're just not there, or it's subtle. If one side thinks they're going to completely eradicate another side's point of view, you're dreaming. Okay, you're not going to be in business long. Period. Um, Now this has happened kind of in comic books. I have to say, I will say a guy I follow and like. Okay, Ethan Van Sciver. He is an out Republican. I don't care. I don't care what his political beliefs are. I really don't. I like him. I've always loved him as an artist. I think he's funny. Um, I don't need to agree 100% with, and my wife and I don't agree on 100% of everything. And that's ridiculous. That's so childish. So the abuse that EVS has gone through is just as bad as anybody else. And he told some stories of what he went through on a live stream, and it was horrible. Like people threatening to drown his children. And we know that's not serious, but he got in a lot of trouble for his retort to that. Okay, so what everybody focused on his retort, which was bad, but honestly, if somebody threatened to drown my children, my retort would have been worse. All right, but because he was semi-public, I mean, he's like a top 10 artist in his field, and has been for a very long time. And yeah, somebody threatened to drown my children. I'm going to pop something off that you wouldn't like to hear, but that being said, again, it goes both ways. And I don't understand why the companies are perpetuating a lot of this, though. That's that's the, I mean, fans will be fans. Believe me, this is always going on. People just have an outlet now. The crap I heard in my comic store is unbelievable. And that's why we were never allowed to talk about politics. You could talk about anything, and I mean anything, as long as there were kids around. But politics were like, no, I actually showed you the door. And then it happens, like people would be in a political conversation. I'm like, guys, could you please take it outside? I'm not telling you not to talk about it, but just not here, because it's San Francisco and it's a politically sensitive environment around here. And she's not claiming harassment. She handles her own and needs no one to fight her battles. Grady, no one does. And that's good for her. I wasn't saying she was claiming harassment. I was just using it as a broad term. Funny how no one said anything about Jake Lloyd, right? You're right. A young boy who was driven almost to suicide, but protected the Rose Tico one. And that Rose Tico thing might have been an NDA why she left too. There's a possibility, but she got abuse, and and any abuse is bad. I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what went on in that one. And just stand up for yourself. That's cool. You mentioned that we are going alone, but we are going to panels, things for the channel, and are bringing minions, host concessions, Maeve. For movie Finobi, host consciousness, Maeve. Are you talking about Westworld last night? I can't get later. We're going to get into spoiler territory, because after seeing it again, I definitely heard something that really blew my mind. I'm sure you guys got there too, but I definitely want to warn you guys, if I don't want to spoil anything for anybody. I saw that, James Hayes. I was listening to it a little while. Chuck Dixon, the great writer, co-creator of Bane, did some work on Jason Todd, is doing a book on Indiegogo. Yeah. And Ethan got him some money. That's good. What they did say was great. Okay. This is what's great about, I'm not going to toot my horn for my generation, because my generation is fucked as much up as any other generation, us Gen Xers. So the punk rock movement is a direct result of the hippie movement. It's like one was an opposite, it was the pendulum swinging the other way. Started out as, yes, a fashion, but it turned into a semi-quasi fashion political movement that you actually saw completely sell out with the Sex Pistols. But when everybody claimed it died, actually there was a nice little burgeoning punk rock movement in Southern California and in DC at the same time, and some places on the East Coast in the early 80s. I was one of those punk rock kids, and part of our generation was, we were the first generation to do not do as well as the previous generation. Okay, so that's what's special about Gen X. But part of the thing is we're still materialistic, but not as. We were called DIY, DIY, sorry, do it yourself. And what's happening with comics now, because there is a ton of gatekeeping going on, is it's going Garageband. It's like people are just making their own comics. They're not having to worry about, and I think that possibly could be the future, now that there is a way to get it out to the fans. You have to build a platform, a YouTube channel, whatever, a Facebook group or something, a following. You have to have a following. You have to be good. You have to tell a good story. And we'll see how it turns out, because it's just, listen, Indiegogo and Kickstarter comics have been out there for a long time, but none of them have been hugely successful. Okay. Partially because one of the good things about companies is they keep artists in line, and you artists out there know that sometimes and I'll count myself as one, we need a little guidance, okay, because we're artists, okay, and we just gotta, we can, I can't just make art, I have to be inspired, and that's me too. And sometimes you need somebody going, listen, you want that paycheck, you got to finish this by this date, deadlines, stuff like that. But I love the Garageband version of anything, to be honest with you. That's why I love YouTube. I mean, Dennis and I are basically a Garageband talk show, I guess. Um, but I think that's cool. I think it's cool that people make their own stuff and they can make their own money and control their own destiny, but it requires so much discipline. Uh, there's no reason to threaten anybody's family. If you need to retort to that to win an argument, then you are an idiot and you should be shunned. Oh, Viking bitch. You're okay. I have to put you're so wonderful. Okay. Viking bitch. Just by the way, this is made by Viking bitch. This is our first official gift. She is like seriously awesome. She's an artist as well. Okay. And an uber, not just a relatively talented artist, an uber talented artist. So well done, Viking bitch. Edward Brewer. What's going on, dude? Comics are in a cultural induction zone right now for the industry to completely shed its origins as entertainment focused almost exclusively for boys. It's going through an awkward, it's going to be awkward as it grows up. If it survives, Grady. If it survives. The problem with that is it's kind of how it's being done. It's not the fact that it definitely needs to be broader. It needs to be out to the masses, but it's the way they're going about it that's kind of all wrong. Okay. How you get comic books to the masses is not changing them fundamentally. All right. You change it in increments, but also let's talk about sales. You need to have them in more places. And I'm going to take a very controversial side on the comics and GameStop thing. I think it's fucking great. I think it's fucking awesome because we need comics in more places. We are not in a place with comic books to where we need to be gatekeeping or telling other retailers they can't sell them. I want comics on spinner racks in freaking grocery stores, in 7-Elevens, in GameStops, at Disneyland, in your corner market. I want them everywhere. That's when they started going downhill, when the direct market saved them for a little while, but it also guaranteed a very slow death because you're relying 100% on very small businesses, which fundamentally I like, okay, but as a part of the comic industry, not as the whole comic industry. And it's proven. It's been 100% proven. The data's there that since the direct market has started, it's gone on a slow decline. Now, the 90s were an anomaly. Okay, there was a speculator market. There was no internet. Video games were still kind of in their infancy. But now that we have, movies and so much competition, and believe me, direct competition to comic books is video games, and that battle is over, long over. And it was a rout. It was a massacre. Okay, kids are willing to pony up $60 for a video game, and now with Steam, it's even easier. And comics are something you have to buy tangibly and read. Yes, there's digital, but the numbers aren't there, and won't be. They would have been there by now if they were the answer. Okay, but they're not. It's a good aside, and I don't have nothing. I kind of, as a retailer, I hate it, but I understand its existence. Okay, I'll be honest with you. Don't like digital because I still consider, I'm going to get back into it sooner than later, and it's competition. Yes, I don't see GameStop as competition at all. They're not going to have subscribers and everything like that. But if it's exposure and it gets comics out there and people actually buying the physical copies, then they're going to want to, if they get into it, then they're going to want to come to a comic store. So people coming out against GameStop, stop, please. Okay. Have you read the Italian or European comics, Gary? I have read French comics that are translated, and I freaking love them. My favorite is Valerian and Lorelei from Mobius. Okay. Yeah. Actually, boom. Right. See, I always have one within reach. Okay. And this stuff has inspired Star Wars and all that other stuff. Oh shit, I said his name. Sorry, but that was in a good way. I never saw it as comics versus games. It's a zero-sum game, right? I want to say that it's a zero-sum game, like in a Winter Soldier. uh, yeah, people might not have seen it, but as a retailer, that's definitely that's kind of old news. Um, there should be more interactive novels. They have tried that, and someday somebody will crack that code. Spider-Man game, Halam, looks amazing, except for that ridiculous white spider on his costume. But as soon as I can change that, that's actually a game I'm going to play. And they announced a Superman game, like an actual effing Superman game. I was so excited. I was like, yes. Video games, I usually, okay, all I play is Telltale, all right, because I'm freaking almost 50, all right? So I need story games. I love Telltale. Hello, Feisty. The Wolf at the Door Telltale is the shit. Okay. The Fables one. My God, I love that. I could just watch the stories from it. That is like almost interactive comic book perfection. Valerian's artwork is epic, says Tarka Jedi. Yes, it is. I cannot get enough of it. When I was a kid, comics were everywhere, at a grocery store, at the drugstore, at the 7-Eleven, at the bookstores. Now you can only find them at a comic shop or limited to graphic novels at a bookstore, says Brian Smart. Agreed. How does that help anybody? Rising tide floats, floats all boats. Is that how it goes? But we all effing sink together. I'm not going to bore you. There used to be a guy I would recommend to go see. He's really good with numbers, but I can't recommend that channel anymore, so never mind. If you go back to my video, I'll pump my own video, is Marvel's Fresh Start won't help 50 closed comic stores. I give an example, show you the numbers of Amazing Spider-Man over 3 decades, and there's almost the biggest change in sales, in actual sales numbers of comics sold to comic stores. I think it varied by 5% over 30 years. That's horrible. And remember, that's just the data they have is only comics sold to comic stores. That's not what comic stores sell. And believe me, comics sold to comic stores, you can 50 to 70% of that are actually sold comics on average. And you want to go even further, out of that 50 to 70% that are sold on average, only 40% are read. You heard that one right. Most people don't read their comics anymore. Not all of them. It's crazy. Have I decided how many episodes of Farscape you will review at a time? No, I have not, because Viking Bitch, because titling is everything on YouTube, and I don't know how to title that to where people would watch. I'm rolling with doing 4 or 5 episodes per review, but then we'd have to do season 1, part 1, season 1, part 2. And the thing is, everybody would watch season 1, part 1, but they would never watch part 2, part 3, part 4. So yeah, it's almost probably better to do it episode by episode. I know that sounds crazy, but haven't decided yet. Still mulling that one around. I'll figure it out though. And if I do it and it's just 5 people watching, so be it. But the reason it is a concern, inside baseball with the channel, is you don't want to put out too many videos that get like no views, because it does hurt hurts the algorithm. Algorithm's like a current, okay, and you get caught up in the current, and that's like the Expanse algorithm. We got caught up in that current, and that was awesome. But you can get left out, and then it hurts your channel. A friend of ours has gone through that. I've seen it. Who has more subs than me, but their views have dropped because they got out of the current, and it sucks. And it's hard getting back into it. James Hayes says the Telltale Batmans are pretty good too. Yeah, our old host John freaking loves them. Dennis likes them, and I am going to try it out. I have bought it, but I have not played it. Tell you what, I'm going to play it this week, James. If you say they're good, then I believe you. Rough Girl says, I still have first-person shooter games with Capcom gun. Time Crisis. Yeah, I had Time Crisis with PS2. I freaking love that game. When I was a kid, I used to read only European comics. The first American comic books I read was Watchmen. That's interesting. That's supposed to be the last one you read. No, that's great. And let's face it, Mako, that's a European comic all the way. Um, I met Dave Gibbons at Comic Con. He did an interview for this video I did, and he was the nicest guy. In Spider-Man game, all of the landmarks like Avengers, Tau, and Zix is in it. Oh wow. 60 effing cents. Granted, they were CCA approved, uh, which blue poodles, but still. uh, Feisty has a question. Did I miss something? Hope I didn't miss anything. I'm like falling behind in the chat. I really love those Valerian comics. Mary, they are the best. And I kind of like the movie. I know nobody did, but I did. But the guy playing Valerian, the kid, Valerian needs to be played by a man, not a very skinny 20-year-old. My first was Uncanny X-Men, written by Chris Claremont and drawn by the best Paul M. Smith. Grady, I met Paul Smith. He came to my store. He is awesome, and nobody talks about him. And he has done some of the most classic shit. Best freaking Avengers comics. Yeah, Paul Smith. I believe he passed away. That sucks. I have a video ready that I'm going to put up. I don't know where I'm going to put it. I might put it on the YouTube channel. It's a video I did for Ed Hannigan, who's a co-creator of Cloak and Dagger. We did a benefit for him when he was sick 5-6 years ago. And it was crazy. Gail Simone, Jimmy Palmiotti, Derek Robertson, Brent Spinner showed up out of nowhere. Yeah, we got interviews. You can see it's funny. The interviews are being conducted by the two kids who worked for me. And I looked back at the video last night and I'm like, oh my God, they look so young and cute. And now they're old. They're still cute though. They're good. They're good kids. They turned out okay. I was their first employer. I'm very proud to say they've gone on to big time careers now. And it's downbeat with a miserable ending. Yeah, Watchmen is European. It says Silver Spike. Oh, like all your like all from our perspective, Silver Spike, like all foreign films, they fell in love and they died. Oh man. I used to buy 2 copies of my favorite comic book, one to read and one to say, Brian. Yep, back when you could. And so how old were you? Okay, so how much was your first comic book, Brian Smart? Mine was when it said still only 25 cents. Guys, Sony should make Spider-Man 2029 in the face of the Sony world. Just saying, right, Halam? But that Into the Spider-Verse movie looks dope. I mean, like I cannot wait for that. It's actually, I'm probably looking forward more to that than anything else. I cannot wait to see that. And I was so happy to see like Spider-Man in it, like Peter Parker, grown up, established. And there's this weird rumor out there that Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire might like have little cameos in it. Feisty fan has rainbow hair. She does. You can get complete collections of Valerian comics for like $20 each at your comic store or favorite online retailer. James Hayes, you can. They're actually, yeah. So these hardcovers are $20, and you can get these soft covers for like $7. Okay, $7. This is like, dude, they're offering comic books more than that. These are totally worth it. Get one at your local comic store. Have them order it. You will not regret. The art is here. I did this last week, but I'll do it again. Like that's just me opening a random page. That's amazing. Amazing. I'm European. I eat French toast every day. Yeah, my mom used to make like crepes, but she called them Swedish pancakes. She didn't know. Brian, thank you for the $5. Major congrats on 4,000 subscribers. You've come a long way, baby. Yeah, we have, and you've been with us the whole time almost. Valerian and Laureline is a fantastic adventure, lovely art, and very imaginative. You'll not regret buying it, says Mako. Hell no. So worth it. $7 isn't bad, but I'd want hardcovers. Yeah. Well, then if you go, the hardcover here is $19.95. And I bet you if you like ordered like 5 from your local comic store, they would give you like 10-15% off. I would. I would. All right, so let's go. There's an article I wanted to go to. And Westworld theories are coming. Well, but again, that's going to be spoilers. So I want to hang out with people before anybody takes off. What is it? 1:30. We've been doing this for like an hour, so we'll say another 20 minutes. We'll get to the Westworld theories. Let's go to some news. This is interesting. This is Jeff Johns, all around nice guy, by the way. If anybody says anything bad about Jeff Johns, they don't know Jeff Johns. They've never met Jeff Johns. For a guy who's that creative and has that much power, he is one of the most chill human beings there is. Okay. That's all I can say. But this is a result of Justice League. So Justice League came out. I thought it wasn't that bad, but it didn't do well, and heads rolled at Warner Brothers, and you're seeing the heads rolling down the street now. It just took a while for it to happen. And what Warner Brothers did, to their credit, okay, now of course they did this to save face, all right, because they had a lot of egg on their face for the Zack Snyder and bringing up his daughter's suicide is the reason that he left the movie when they actually fired him. So shame on you, Warner Brothers, for doing that. But I have to credit. I know their motivations are to save face, but to allow people to leave and make it look like they're stepping down or doing this is, as disingenuous as it might be, it's still kind of classy. All right. There's no need to break anybody down that you might be working with again. See, like, and that's why they do this. They do this to save face, but they also do this like Jeff Johns could be a CEO someday and remember all of these people. So Jeff Johns, the longtime chief creative officer at DC Entertainment, is stepping down. He will move into Warner Brothers' first look producing deal, where he will write movie vehicles to produce for Mad Ghost Productions. Johns will continue to work on existing DC films. The move isn't entirely surprising, given that John's wingman, John Berg, moved out to become a lot-based producer for Warner Brothers. And DC chief and 25 Warner Brothers vet Diane Nielsen announced her retirement, following a months-long sabbatical. Johns and Nielsen clash loudly, sources say. This follows a subpar record for DC feature films, one that reminded everyone it has been a long time since Chris Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy. It has. Johns had his books not only Johns had his hooks not only in movies but also in television and comics. DC has been more successful in crowd-pleasing fare in TV space with the hit-making showrunner like Greg Berlanti, who is just the producer. Finding the right creative impropriator on the movie side has been elusive for DC, especially given the inevitable comparisons to Marvel, where Kevin Feige has managed to generate one crowd-pleasing global blockbuster after another with no sign of hitting the wall. DC's films put up large global grosses, but at the cost but they cost a lot. And like most recent efforts, Justice League and Batman vs Superman have been black as pitch and more obligatory than pleasurable. Ooh, that's a harsh comment. The notable exception was Wonder Woman, which had a so-so third act. Let's be honest, it had a great second act with Gal Gadot starring and Patty Jenkins directing, and she did a great job. The studios just announced DC Entertainment publisher Jim Lee will expand his role to include the chief creative officer title and responsibilities, and will continue to act as publisher together with Dan Didio, and as they have since 2010. Thomas Guecki, chief digital officer and executive vice president, strategy and business development, who is serving as DC's interim head. So ascending Jim Lee, another nice guy. I don't know if that sounds just like you're rearranging. It's the same people. It's the same people who've been charged of DC for the last decade. So I don't know how this changes anything, but Hollywood will be asking this question: what the hell does a comic book editor and a digital strategy executive know about making tentpole superhero movies? Yep. Many believe Warner Brothers and DC counted too much on director Zack Snyder, not known for his sense of humor, and it was set a tone so dark that it became a joke in Deadpool 2. When the superhero character told a humorless nemesis he was dark enough to be in a DC character, there was an opportunity for Toby Emmerich to really reshuffle the executive deck on the feature side and turn DC into something more formidable. That is right now, even as the James Wan directed Aquaman is coming and Wonder Woman 2 is in production, with Matt Reeves rebooting Batman, and for new standalone franchises, likely new actor to play the Cape Crusader after Ben Affleck stints as Batman when his stint is over. Emmerich's longtime genre guy at New Line, Walter Hamada, also continues at DC. So I think he's good. I think Hamada's good. I think he could turn around. Feig is in the league all of his own in terms of setting the tone of a franchise after a misfire at Lucasfilm's Han Solo movie, after Kathleen Kennedy fired Lego filmmakers Lord and Miller. Just the latest instance where up-and-coming filmmakers were replaced. There have been rumors now about Kennedy will continue, even if the hot rumor that Feig might take over at Lucasfilm. That'd be terrible. That rumor was roundly denied. The only division heads that rival Feig's success are in animation, where Chris Molandari generates one hit after another for the Universal-based Illumination, and where John Lasseter did the same for Pixar until he went on a sabbatical himself, and he was removed permanently last week. So it says more, oh God, that's really long. Yeah, Jeff Johns is a super talent, but he's going to go, blah, blah, blah. And so basically Jim Lee replaced Jeff Johns, and it sounds like more of the same to me. I don't know if there's anything really to even talk about there. Well, we'll see if you guys want to talk about that stuff. Thought it was interesting. He's a good guy. But Kevin Feige, the big difference between Kevin Feige and everybody else is he puts up this really nice face, but he is a ball buster. Okay. The man is a ball buster behind the scenes. Silver Spike, Into the Spider-Verse does look superb. Paul Smith told me that the only reason there was ever a Dark Phoenix was because he had been telling people that he was the first X-Men artist to not draw Phoenix. So Chris Claremont wrote it as a prank. Huh. I have not heard that, but I can believe it. I have not heard every comic book story behind the scenes. That would be funny. Very soon, we'll get there. Just okay. We got to get past that super chat. Sorry for the silence, people in audio. I'm getting caught up in the chat after I read a really long article. Have I seen the artwork for Dune, Tarka Jedi? I have. And I'm kind of excited about it. That's something that needs to be done right. I saw a video of it. The most expensive thing in my kitchen is my $150 antique cast iron Swedish pancake skillet. I will fight people over it, says Grady. uh, YouTube won't let me type it in the chat. Find me on Twitter and I will tell you. Are you talking to me? What, they won't let you type. What are you typing? Oh, I guess you can't tell me. I've seen YouTube Vlog Life. You had a message retracted. Are messages getting retracted over dumb reasons? Maybe my settings need to be messed with? Because I have 3 words that you can't say, but none of you guys would ever say them. So, yeah, let me know if your messages are getting retracted for stupid reasons, because then I will fix it. Here, and I will check my Twitter. Hang on. Boom. How is everybody today? Y'all having a good Monday? My Monday's been excellent so far. There we go. And by the way, my DMs are open on my Twitter. If you ever want to ask me anything there, you can. You can. And let's get back to the chat here. Solo only did 15 million for week 3. Bummer. Stay classy, WB, right? Never been a DC fan in general, though I am a fan of some of their stuff. They should be doing a lot better, and actually, they should have beat Marvel to the punch with the whole cinematic universe and everything. And I bet you they're really regretting it now. Egos in Hollywood stop us from getting so much good stuff. Listen, a great example would be Noah Hawley has finished a Doctor Doom script. Now, do I want a Doctor Doom script without the Fantastic Four? Not really, but if it's written by Noah Hawley, I want it. I want to read it. I want to see this movie, fast track this damn thing right now. But it won't, because there'll be egos involved, and then if Marvel does take over, they're going to want to inject their stuff in it. Jim Lee, really? He has a YouTube channel. Wonder if he will comment, says James. Say, he has a Twitch and a YouTube channel? Yeah, but that was a surprise to see him ascend in that position. But it's I don't know how. I mean, he's a decent businessman. He's a really smart dude. I don't know what. Maybe he will fare well in Hollywood. Hollywood's all political. It's how you schmooze. I feel safe in saying the harder the intellectual property that we will not be named crashes and burns, the happier George Lucas will be about it ultimately. Remember American Graffiti? He did win a Best Picture Oscar for it. I do remember that movie, and it's freaking awesome. Yeah, he ain't getting it back, though. And I don't know if he wants it back. But if he thought it would be any different when he sold it, I mean, come on, George. Don't be naive. I guess maybe they really sold it to him that, he had his person in charge and everything. Yeah, I don't know, but it's a hot mess right now. Not crying over Jeff Johns, says Tarka Jedi. He's a damn good comic book writer. I don't know about anything else, but my favorite comic by him was when he was doing Teen Titans in the mid-aughts and the Doom Patrol story. He wrote the single best damn Doom Patrol story I've ever read, and it was in a Teen Titans comic. DC went through a great run that nobody talks about. Okay, it was prior to New 52. It was in the early 2000s. It was when Batman Hush was coming out, and Jeff Johns started showing up on the scene. It was right around Green Lantern Rebirth and the Titans book. Michael Turner was doing covers. So much good crap came out in the mid 2000s. It wasn't crap, but good stuff from DC, and it just got wiped out by New 52. But Superman Rebirth, Red Sun, all that stuff. Batman Hush, of course. Yeah, crazy, crazy stuff. Death of Donna Troy. It was just, it was so good. They were so much better than Marvel at the time. That's when Marvel was just starting to get good, but it wasn't there yet. Marvel had a writer. Nobody talks about him, but he was the Mark Waid of his day, called Chuck Austin, and he was a screenwriter. And man, people hated that dude. They hated him so much that he changed his name. He changed his pen name to JD Finn, Jaded Fan. True story. Yeah, he got so much shit. He got harassed right out of the industry. Ed Brewer, I cannot believe I forgot that. The single best run of any comic back then was Jeff Johns' JSA. That was phenomenal. I am so proud that I own those comics are probably in 50-cent bins. You can get the whole run for probably like $20. Buy it. Ask Feisty if she can get it for you. Jeff Johns' JSA run. Holy shit, was that good. Actually, you're right. Jeff Johns has been involved in some great works. Now that you points out, I take it back. Good points. Yes, he's done. Like he really did some good stuff. I don't know if he's a great movie producer though. We range from 12 to 100, says Movie Finobi. There you go. I'm 48. I'm right in the middle. John Romita Jr. was fantastic artist. Would be a fantastic artist for the Expanse graphic novel. He would. He would. You know who I'd like to? I mean, if I had a dream artist, Dave Gibbons. Dave Gibbons doing the Expanse. I think that would be. Or or Al Williamson and Carlos Garzon. They both of those they did The Empire Strikes Back, Return of the Jedi, and Blade Runner novel comic adaptations. Those are my favorite. That Al Williamson did all the newspaper comics for Star Wars and stuff. That was so good. And he had come from Flash Gordon. I don't know if he's even still alive, to be honest with you. Quentin Clevereau, did you miss something? Nah, just me babbling. We talked about how the Expanse was saved. Jeff Johns stepped down. It's been kind of a slow news day, really. Disney hasn't bought Fox yet, and that's going to happen eventually. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah. Oh, and we hit 4,000 subscribers. Viking bitch. You're not supposed to say your age. She's a youngster. 48 going on 90, says Ed Brewer. I feel like I felt like that this morning, man. I felt like 95 when I got out of bed. Oh, I can't move until I have my cup of coffee and like 4 aspirin. Oh my God. Yeah. Think about, my job is it's just, man, way more physical than I thought it would be, which is fine. I don't mind doing it, but I'm climbing all over things and yeah, it's nuts. All those youngsters here. Yep. They're the future. That's what they told me. Do I do yoga like everybody in San Francisco? I am the only person who doesn't. I will not do yoga because yoga would kill me. My wife does yoga. She wants me to do yoga. Thank you, Viking bitch. Congrats on 4K, Gary. I am not surprised. I am really surprised. Halam, you're only 18. You little whippersnapper. When I was 18, got my first tattoo. Yeah. Got my first tattoo. Green smoothies. Okay, yes, I drink green smoothies. Yes, I do. I had a banana one today, though. Oh no, the future. Yeah. So it's going to be a fun summer. It's going to be a fun summer. Summer kind of quiets down for this channel a little bit because we go as the TV season goes. So if you want to like, nobody's going to take the time, so I'll just tell you. So if you track our channel and when it is successful, it is when it's TV season. So TV season is, April through June. It's changed a lot. And when I mean TV, it's the kind of TV we cover. We cover event television. We don't cover network. All right. So we have big periods from like late September all the way through to Christmas. We do well. And then April, May, June, we do well. July, August, September, very slow for us. Now it was slow last year because we got put on restriction. We couldn't live stream for 3 months, which was a bummer. And it like slow. Actually, we might have been here sooner if it wasn't for that. That slowed our channel to a crawl. And we really thank you for sticking with us. We had to live stream from my shadow channel and then load it up. So they still let us load videos. We just couldn't live stream. And to this day, I have no idea what I did. I think I know what I did, but I don't know what I did. But to let all you other YouTubers out there, if you don't know this, if you get a video flag, do not delete it, okay? Because then you can't, you can't send it to YouTube and see if you can get out of it. Protest it, I should say. Okay, let's go back. I'm 40 plus 5 minus 10 plus 12 minus 2. I will be like 50 minus 6 plus 2. Yeah, that's pretty much how old I am. Viking bitch, I did answer your Farscape question by not answering it. Did you ask another one? So you're wondering like how we're going to do it? Or did you ask another one after that? So Farscape, which yeah. So Farscape, I haven't decided what we're gonna do yet. And honestly, today's episode is kind of maybe in flux. It depends on, I think Mama might want to go on a hot date tonight. I'm not sure. She mentioned something about it. I'm waiting to hear back from her, to be honest with you. We don't go out on many hot dates anymore just because, we work all the time. As a matter of fact, she's, we were supposed to, like, Mondays. The reason I started doing this podcast, Mondays were supposed to be our day off together, and we haven't had one since I started this podcast. She's busy. She's down in Palo Alto doing some hair on some rich people. Quentin, do I like France? Yes. Freaking love it. I was there for a day. Okay. I took the channel over there and I really just wanted to ride the channel. So I took the channel over there. Man, it was expensive. Holy shit, was that expensive, but it was cool. And popped my head up, said hi, France, and then went back to jolly old England. I love France. So, and if you're our only French subscriber, tell a friend. We are a global community in here, and that's, and this is why it's actually this little channel is giving me faith in the world, because everybody gets along in here, man. Like once in a blue moon we get a troll, but I got a quick axe for that. So, and I'm sure it'll come along. The bigger we get, we'll get some people like that. But it reminds me of one streamer we both know that got a strike before actually starting their stream one night. That's what happened to me, James. My stream was up for a nanosecond. What happened was I started one and I had mic troubles, so I got rid of it. And then I started another one and I was still having mic troubles. And then my screen went like this red warning thing comes up and I'm all, crap, what's that? And I didn't read it all and I hit okay. And then I realized what I did and I'm all, crap. So I just deleted my video And yeah, and then I couldn't stream for 3 months. Yeah, I know who you're talking about too, James. And best thing I could think of was there's a lower third bar that you can do on these things where it has your name. And I used to put my website in there, but I, instead of just saying nerdrotic.com, I put www.nerdrotic.com. And believe me, I read every word of the guidelines over and over, and they're so fucking vague. Like they make no sense. But what I got out of it was that you're not supposed to put links into to embed them in your videos, and which is sucks because they offer a lower third which allows you to put a link, but it's not a link you can click on and get to. So that's the only thing I could think of. And the thing is, my website is verified for this account. Like they've checked it and everything. I have no idea. Or somebody flagged me, which is a possibility. Somebody just didn't like me. And I don't know why. We were like small. I mean, we're still small potatoes, but we were small potatoes back then. Dream artist for a comic book. Frank Frazetta and Boris Vallejo. Shame they are both passed on. I'd have to like agree with that one 100%. That would be my dream right there. You got it, James. You know me so well. I'm jumping back down. I know I'm going all over the place here. Without the cancellation, I would not have found this channel. Yes, I drink Tarka Jedi. Really? How did you find the channel? That's a good question for you guys. Yes, I drink green smoothies. I do, but my wife makes them to where they're only the color green. They actually taste fruity good. I would have been summarily beaten if I had for getting a tattoo when I was young, says James. You know what I got shit for? James, was the earring that I got the same day. That's what I got shit for. The tattoo was my dad used to be in the Navy, so he didn't care. But the earring, I will not repeat what he said. My dad was old school. Okay, he's passed on now, and I miss him. But yeah. Rob, oh man, Rob Stufflebeam. My first tattoo was at 18 in 1980. You are my sister's age. Okay, I'll show you my first tattoo. It's terrible. Okay, it's terrible. This is a redone version of it, but here I got to make sure the camera. I got to look at the camera. I'm just looking at it. Okay, so this is my first tattoo designed by myself, and it's the purple hair. Okay, that was my 18-year old clever mind. But it's there to remind me where I came from. All right. So yes, the purple hair. Ah, yes. To be young and fucking stupid. As opposed to being old and stupid. I was in a timeout. Yes, I was in a timeout, a 3-month timeout. Viking bitch, you came on during the tick, right? Dennis and I have done recaps on every tick episode, which I think Viking bitch watched, and that's it. And maybe Rough Girl. But if you guys have not seen the tick, man, that show is so effing good. Movie Finobi says the 100 is a bit too YA. Some aspects were okay. Can't constantly watch. The tribal fighting doesn't always appeal. My wife loves the crap out of that show. Tarka Jedi says in my family, 21 is the age you are expected to start working, perhaps married with 1 to 2 kids. Irish Catholic says it all, really. Yeah. I was out of my house at an incredibly early age because I was a horrible nightmare Satan of a kid. Okay. So little personal information. Yeah. 15. I was on my own at 15. I did not return to my parents' house until I was in my early 20s, and I was broke AF with my first wife, and we need to save some money. So I went back and lived with my parents with my wife for like 4 months, and oh my god, I couldn't wait to get out. That was just rough. And first wife didn't really get along with my parents, and it made it just so much more fun. Yeah. So no, yeah, yeah. You know, everybody knows this. So, like, recovering alcoholic addict, and I used to live under a bush at one point. I've lived in my friend's motorhome in his driveway, and his dad didn't know about it. I lived in my dad's motorhome in the storage facility that he didn't know about, and I broke it. I lived in that for like a year, just in the storage facility, and I had to dodge guard dogs every night. So yeah, to go home every night, I had to have some food to trick the guard dogs so I can break into the motorhome. Good times, man. And that was when I was like 17. Yeah, dates before podcasts. Damn right, Viking bitch. Damn right. Yeah. But this is not a story time podcast. Sorry, folks. We talk about TV shows and stuff. Yes, I am a friend of Bill W., Mary. Hell yeah. Saved my life. I love going to meetings. Oh my God. I feel so much better after I go to one. I think a normie should go all the time. It's so good for you. It's not a cult. Don't worry. Although on the outside, I can see where people come up with that sometimes, but really it's not. But most people in a cult say that, right? Just kidding. Bye, Marks. Have a good day. 6 continents strong. Damn straight. We need some Antarctic subscribers. There we go, right there. I know a girl who goes down there, and she's a chef. She goes down there when it warms up every 6 months. I don't know if she's a subscriber though. I already said. Oh, Ed, you already did tell me. I'm sorry. Comics Division is how I found you. Of course, we were in the chats, but you heard of Comics Division, and the rest is history. Yeah, I remember me and you chatting it up with Comics Division and Englentine and all that. Oh yeah. I found Nerdrotics during the first season of The Tick. It made me so happy, says Viking Bitch, and it made us happy too. Everyone knows. Everyone I know has a getting tattoos, making me want to get making me not want to get any just to be different. Lubella, that's kind of the way to go. My my kid feels the same way. I just started following you around Star Trek Discovery 2, said Silver Spike. Yeah, yeah. I remember seeing in there. Viking Bitch says, yeah, some tattoos are, she says, mine are very personal. I have a lion tat over my heart and some symbols on my right shoulder. I wouldn't get one that doesn't mean something. I cannot say the same. I just get the ones I like. Mine have zero meaning other than I like Doctor Who and Spider-Man and wizards. Uh, there was a millennial who was a 30-year-old and his parents sued him because he didn't want to leave the house, says Mako. I think I heard that. There's an easy way to make them leave the house. Just turn off their internet. That's fucking simple. Job done. I found you through Legion and Westworld review searches on YouTube. Movie Fanobi. Thanks. Yeah, we show up in like crazy searches sometimes. Like for a while there, if you typed in just the Expanse, we were in the top 5 for Westworld. I think, you know, if you hit Westworld review, will show up. I'm not sure about Westworld right now. For Counterpart, we were like the first. If you hit Counterpart, we were like the first 4. That was cool because you'd see us with like 1,000 views, and then we'd be next to somebody with like 100,000 views. It's like nice company. The Tick is hilarious. I found the channel because I was freaking out when they canceled The Expanse and was crying nerd tears, says Tarka Jedi. Yeah, I was holding it all inside, but I was, you know what? I didn't think a canceled show would upset me that much. I really didn't. Rough Girl, 15 years old. Yes. Uh, Not me. No, I never left home. Oh, believe me, I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I love my meetings. I know everyone should take the steps. Instant life improvement. Absolutely, Mary. Am I cutting out? I saw that earlier. Bad Bunny says, "Is it me or is Gary cutting out?" Let me check my stream. Says it's good, but maybe it wasn't at the time. Kool-Aid. Going down the chat here. Philip A. Demick, is today the day they are screwing with net neutrality? I have to 100% connection. I am getting buffering. Huh. Are you guys getting it too? My chat keeps freezing. Okay. That's interesting to know. It's on my side. Okay. Let me try something. This give me a moment. Boom, 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 boom. It might be one of these websites I have up. We'll see if that works. Gary video is choppy. Okay, how is it now? I can't check on my phone because it's dead. Good. Okay, good. Thanks, guys. It was probably one of the websites I had running in the background. I should remember to click those off. I hope it wasn't too bad. Philip, I don't need that. I actually have the gigabyte connection. I have a great connection, but I had a freaking trash movie web up in the background, and they run all these freaking video ads, and I bet you that was just killing it. Get up and dance. No. Strike a pose. There we go. Mary, I wish I was a normie, but I'm not. I don't regret being in the fellowship. Mary, yeah, there's days I wish I was a normie, but I'm not. And the only thing I'm a normie in is comic books. I like normal comic books. I like superhero, but everything else, yeah, I don't like normal music or movies or anything like that. Yeah, no Star Wars. I want to talk about it. We were comparing body art while you were buffering. How long was I buffering? That sucks. Okay, we're almost to Westworld theory time. All right, has everybody seen Westworld out there? Is anybody gonna see? Does anybody care? Because I do have to get to that. It's in the title. And then we gotta okay, how don't we start with I don't want to start and switch it. So after that, I want to hear your Legion predictions. What do you think's gonna happen? What do you think's gonna happen at the end of Legion? But let's start with Westworld real quick. I'm gonna go to Reddit. Gonna go to wonderful Reddit because Westworld is actually very friendly to Reddit. So we have Dennis's theory, which I think is really half good. That Logan is somewhere. Oh, by the way, spoiler warning: we will be spoiling Westworld from this point out. If you do not see last night's, please stop watching, but come back later. Remember the timestamp. And yes, we're going to be talking about Westworld. But sometimes Westworld is so vague that you won't even know you're being spoiled. So Dennis has a theory that Logan is inside, oh god, I'm forgetting it now, basically the Matrix. Okay, so he's inside the program and he's waltzing around in there. Sorry, Tarka Jedi. Yeah, I babbled for a long time, didn't I? Okay, so Dennis has a theory that Logan is somehow imprinted inside of the mainframe, basically, in the cradle, but the cradle's been destroyed. He's in there somewhere. I think he's half right. But the most important thing that they said twice in the episode last night was when Aki was talking about worlds. Like when he approached Logan and Logan said, all these worlds, we're in the wrong one. Will somebody show me the door? Will somebody show me the door? Of course, I'm paraphrasing. I'm not saying the exact quote. And then when Ford was talking to Aki and Ford asked him, like, what exactly do you know? Analysis. So it forces them to say anything. So they can still be put under some form of control, by the way. Like you could throw them into analysis and it can keep you from killing them. I would be throwing out that word all the time, like analysis, And so he threw Aki into analysis, and analysis, is like, what information do you know? And he said, I believe there are many worlds and we are in the wrong one. And I believe there's a door out to one of these worlds. So again, we heard worlds plural, which leads me to believe that there's multiple simulations. There might still be a real world out there, but at this point, if we're within a simulation of Westworld, it would not surprise me, and it would actually explain some of Ford's motivations. Other than because Ford is basically ushering in, it looks like right now, kind of ushering in a robot revolution that would get kids killed. Okay, we'll just say human kids will die eventually. Okay. Anybody who'd be okay with that's a psychopath and bad. And I don't think Ford is that bad. Maybe I'm wrong. Okay. So that's what I'm thinking about, unless there's a grander game that we're not seeing with Ford. And then they brought up the whole Dolores thing being the Deathbringer, and all I could think about was virus software. Like she's in there to, or malware. What Dennis said, like I think but malware doesn't really serve a purpose where virus software does. So she's there to protect the program, and Maeve is the admin, is the one who, it also protects the program in her way. Or maybe it's just a red herring. I have no idea. So I was wondering if people were gonna kind of talk about that. And let's see if it doesn't seem to be brought up in the Westworld Reddit. I was kind of like, come on, guys. Oh my god, I'm so sick. Like half the Reddit stuff now is just memes, and I know that's part of the fun, but like there's not as many theories in there as you would think. Let's see this one. Oh, that's interesting. So I'm going to be quiet here while I check this out. That is very interesting. I'm going to show you here. This might have been a mistake, but I think they got a cameraman in the shot from last night. Oh god, I can't show you. Shit. Okay, there's oh man. Yeah, I can't show stills from Westworld. We'll get a copyright strike. So there's a picture of when Aki's walking into Sweetwater. If you look on the left, guys, there's two cameramen following Maeve, like modern cameramen. They have a camera on their back, and they look like actual Westworld crew. I think that I wonder if they forgot. I wonder if it was just a mistake. That's one thing that was good for. Yeah, but I can't show clips or anything. Sorry for the silence there. Here we go. I'm looking for it. Yeah, nobody's talking about that. Come on, guys. You're killing me here. So some are saying that Ford's speech in the series finale was actually about Akachita or Aki. And Zahn McClarnon was amazing. A lot of that. That's interesting. Oh, okay. I'm going to show you this. So through Imager, it shows that some of the maps, if they're overlaid, they look like a host brain. This one's pretty cool. Maps merged. I don't know if you guys can see that or not, but there's the door, the Deathbringer, the maze, and if you bring it down, interesting. It looks like the inside of the skull, basically. Ah, but that's hardware, not software. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm kind of disappointed, man. They're not talking about any of our theories. That kind of sucks. That kind of blows the whole thing I had. I probably should have checked, but oh well. And you guys can see Reddit now. I'm gonna just go through. Boom. Okay, what we've learned. Man, so I'm just going to talk about my theory because nobody else is talking about it. And it could be off, but I think we are definitely in a simulation, folks, of some sort or another. Um, or or there is preservation, and I think it's really interesting how we haven't seen the real world. Other than 30 years ago at this point, we've seen hints at it. Um, Again, I could be wrong. I just every time this show looks like it's going to be straightforward about something, it's not. It like definitely takes a left turn, but it does look like ultrasonic. Um, what happened to Screed Junkies after the Andy Signor fiasco? What was that, Mako? Holy crap, Gary. I just realized I've been with you guys for a little over 5 years. Wow. You really go far back. Dude. I just got a copyright, not claim, not a strike on like our fourth video that we've ever done, like today. Um, I was like, son of a bitch. I just got rid of it. Oh, by the way, the copyright claim thing is a scam. I'm finding out. Like these companies are like these fly by night companies are coming up and making copyright claims, and they just rely on you not doing anything, and they can siphon your money. Like listen, they're not going to make any money off my fourth video, which had like 40 views, so they're welcome to it. That's a long time, Brian Smart. That's a long time. Yeah, they're gonna flip the real folks are the simulation, and the hosts are maybe them trying to work out. Yeah, it's starting to get a lot like Blade Runner 2049, Mako and Mary. I really because in the credits they show a mother and a baby, and I really hope they don't like go the procreation route because like it's kind of already been done. Um, Now them loving a kid is fine. I have no problem with that, but they are 3D printed. So unless and there's a lot of stuff you have to 3D print. And why would they 3D print reproductive organs unless they needed to? Okay, if they needed to, then that's different. The only thing it sucks that Blade Runner 2049 got to it first was there's no there was I mean like how were replicants made? There was no detail on that. At least with Westworld, they have gone into how they make the hosts. So Blade Runner 2049 tried to be something it wasn't. Feisty says this show makes me feel the feels and confuses the hell out of me, and it's supposed to. But man, did it have a lot of feels last night for sure. Alam, you haven't seen the original Westworld? You might not like it. You're young, and it's old for me. So it starts out okay, and then like the last third is just people running after each other. It's very 70s. Back in the okay, so like how every superhero movie has to end with you're in like an abandoned rock quarry or factory, and you're fighting either a giant energy beam going up to the air or some giant 3D whatchamahoozits beating you up. In the 70s, everything had to end with a chase of some kind. And the chase had to end badly. And it went on forever. Oh my God. Car chases. I know they still do them, Fast and Furious, but like, have you noticed there's not a lot of car chases anymore? But remember, when we were younger, they were absolutely in everything. By the way, best car chase ever. Well, there's two actually. Bullet with Steve McQueen and Blues Brothers. End of the Blues Brothers. Those are my two personal favorite. Actually, the Bullet, one of the streets is like right over there, about 1 mile, the street where they shot it. I'm super disappointed in the mighty Westworld Reddit. Alls it was, oh my God, that was awesome. And wasn't that great? And did you notice this? And it's like nobody's talking about the crazy theories. Maybe it is only us. I don't think William is a host anymore, but I think William is going to die and survive. I think he's going to be the first. I think he might be the first human host. All right. And I think that might be what Grace's punishment is for him. Is like, no, this fucker's going to live another life and he's going to make up for it. And this is a way to maybe, unfortunately, get rid of Ed Harris and bring in Jimmy Simpson, which I'd be okay with. But I would miss the hell out of Ed Harris. I don't want him to go out like a punk, though. That will kind of bother me. It's almost like they created a sim to answer a question. Yes, they did. Well, there's multiple sims. We know that. Remember, they said 1/3 of the Westworld IP is going to be destroyed. So there's 2/3 out there somewhere. I'm sure the Delos Corporation proper has all that information. Why would they leave it all with Ford? The reason they let Ford play as much as he did was because he was the best at it. Problem is he wasn't the very best. He was just taking what Arnold had created and kind of Frankensteined it, you know. But Arnold was better than him at making the hosts. He was more the artist. Okay. So Arnold was Tesla and Ford is, oh, why am I blanking on his name now? You know what I'm talking about. Edison. It's not just, it's just not the same. It changed the channel for the worse when somebody left. That usually happens. These channels are based on the people who created them. You get attached, it's part of a community, and you get rid of somebody, hey, we lost somebody, he'll be back. I just talked to him. John just bought a house and moved. He's still doing his D&D stuff. He might be going to VidCon, but John has to only ask to come back on the channel. I think he'll be back for Star Trek. But yeah, that's why I'm really careful who I bring on, because if somebody gets attached to somebody and then something happens and they leave, it can hurt the channel. So that's why I kind of have it battened down on like how many people I bring in. We're really not going to bring in more. I mean, like if somebody wants to, like if like a patron wants to guest once in a while, I would be okay with that. But it's really to keep things simple. I learned the hard way at the comic store. At first I wanted to bring on my friends. The kids like, dude, I got this comic store. Let's hang out. And then when it turns into work, things get weird. When it comes to money, things get weird. And it's just best not to deal with it. Right now, it's fun money. If this thing does get bigger, it won't be fun money. And then we got to start talking like business contracts and stuff. It's like, ooh, no. Mako, a lot of people believe that, and I am in the minority on that. I am in the minority. But I'm actually gonna give it another look. I've got the 4K. I actually bought it on 4K Blu-ray to give it another look because it was beautiful. I mean, there's no doubt about that. Um, it- uh, your dad watched it. That's all you need to know. Honestly, what they've done with this show is pure genius. If you like Westworld, watch. But yeah, if you like Westworld or Alter Carbon, watch Blade Runner. Steve McQueen, there was a man right there. He was a partier too. Dennis does need to be here, but he's at work. But if he comes home while I'm still streaming, I'll get him on. I'll get him on. It's going to be a week-long celebration anyway. So we need Feisty's to record Feisty's laugh for playback. I know, right? She makes me sound funny. Oh, yeah. We'll wrap this one up in a little bit. It's just such a slow news day. I've actually got a ton of stuff to do. A ton of stuff to do. But let's talk about Legion real quick, guys. I want to know what you think. Those of you who watch Legion and love it. Dennis got married. He did. Good for him. I wasn't invited. Yeah, Legion. How do you think this is going to end, folks? Is it going to be a cliffhanger? I mean, it seems like they knew they were going to, now that this is all played out, it seems like they knew they were going to get a third season. So, or maybe it was in flux. It's really weird how they got this extra episode, but according to Amari Daniels, that they had planned on that from the beginning. So it was, I guess it wasn't that weird. Lubella says at least some hint at Professor X. I think we will get that. Battle between Professor X and David becoming Legion. Oh my God. Hey, Omari, I was just talking about you. That would put this show, it would be so epic. I would be screaming from the mountaintops, which I should be anyway. So, I think the shot from last episode where Lenny, on the bearskin rug and David with the comic book hair will be in the final shot of the finale. That scene, I had to put that on the thumbnail, Omari. That was so brilliant. And if you go back and watch that, she's got a drip of blood coming down her mouth. And it's not from her eating something. It looks like David smacked her up and then she kind of liked it and then laid down on the ground surrounded by bones, and he's sitting on a throne of bones, holding that sphere. That was fucking epic. That was so cool. Oh my God, that was like pure comic book right there. And yeah, I would love to see, maybe he takes out Professor X. That's one way to get rid of the Patrick Stewart version. He can wipe him out from reality. Legion can retcon your storyline. He can shape reality. I think he'd be good to keep around. The Marvel Now stuff a few years ago did a Legion comic that I didn't bother reading, and I have a stack of downstairs. I'm gonna read them, but I want to go back and read the originals too. Shadow King will die, says Agent Future. I would tend to agree with you. Nerdgasm, says Lubella, right? Absolutely. Absolutely. Omari, you're right. And what's up, Omari? Love Legion. I think David will still beat Famal. I want to see him go Legion. I think he will. When the MCU gets X-Men, how will they do them? I think this will be the one rare exception that if you change it, I'll be pissed. With Westworld, it could be an altered carbon stance where the human mind and memories are painted into the clones. Yep. I think we're going to get some body switch in there, Brian. Legion screwed up. As a matter of fact, oh, that was one of the things I was going to talk about. New Teddy. New Teddy might be somebody. I think yeah, I think Teddy might get a new personality, maybe a human one. Legion screwed up his dad so much that he's broken man. You see in Logan, or Legion screwed up his dad so much he's a broken man. You see in Logan, yes, that's brilliant. Like he's the one who caused the seizures and stuff like that from his battle. Oh, that is brilliant, Lubella. Well done. Hell yes. Binge watch all cut up, says Bad Bunny. Yeah, feisty. Oh snap! That just blew my mind. I'm like, that would be great. Will the climax of the season be a full creation of Legion, and next season they will all have to fight against him? Says Silver Spike. Um, Amari, I believe, was talking about that they kind of let that slip. Like a sound guy they were interviewing on Buzz Talk. The host had said something to that effect. Maybe you had seen it, Silver Spike, and the sound guy like nodded. And I am fucking so down for that. That sounds brilliant. The orb he's holding. I was reminded of one of your art pieces I mentioned to you when I saw your stuff. To Viking Bitch, by the way. Legion versus Professor X. Battle is what killed most of the mutants, as referenced in Logan. Again, yes. And actually, you can relate that to Gifted, because in the Gifted, the X-Men disappeared in the some July incident. I would tie that all up. I want to see David as a villain for a season, Mark. Yeah, me too. Legion, for one, did you like his villain voice at the end? Dave Stevens is like, that guy's a fucking star. That guy's gonna be a star, which sucks because I think he would be a great Doctor Who. I know I say that of a lot of people, but he would be really, really. You want to make Doctor Who like sexy again? Bring in Dave Stevens or Dan Stevens. Sorry, I keep on saying Dave because I knew a guy named Dave Stevens. It's Dan Stevens. Legion might even create its own universe, like Sitsu did at the end of Akira. That would you could do an alternate universe with actual X-Men. That'd be very interesting, Finobi. I love new Teddy. Who says Rough Girl? Yeah, the Teddinator. Yeah. New Teddy is terrifying. Absolutely. Here's a gun and a bullet. Here's one bullet to kill yourself. This is the last of my mercy. New Teddy is much better than boring old sensitive Teddy. Yep. Teddy Bear to Teddinator. Where can we see Viking Bitch's artwork? Is it online? I will let her answer that. Legion can make the MCU version, can make an MCU version, just saying. Absolutely. Mako, I have a website that's sculpted. Sculptedleatherart.com. Okay, you hear that, everybody? Viking Bitches, sculptedleatherart.com. Go check it out. Dan the Legion man. Hell yeah, Silver Spike. Viking Bitch, thank you, says YouTube Vlog Life. Let's see if we can go there. Let's go there. I'm going to put you on blast. Ooh, wow. It's loading. Oh my God. Is there boobies? There's boobies. Hey, Viking Bitch, you want me to show this? I'm not going to show it until I get your permission. They need Legion to defeat Thanos. He's the God Killer after all. I love that line, Legion World Killer. I just went, oh, yes. Waiting to hear from Viking bitch. I need the okay. Go ahead, she says. All right. There you go. All right. So we're going to take a look at some of Viking bitch's art once I get back to that. This is freaking awesome, by the way. Here we go. So remember, kids, this is sculptedleatherart.com by the wonderful Viking bitch. Look at this. Jesus Christ. Wow. This is some Geiger stuff right here. I freaking love. Oh man, tentacles. Tentacles. Wow. That's pretty cool. That shit is dope. Okay, everybody, you got to go there. The link will be in the description when this turns into a video. Okay. Sorry, I got away from it. I apologize. There we go. Let's go look at it one more time. That's unbelievable. That does not look easy. Okay. I'm just saying that. There's different levels of difficult art. Everything is difficult, right? But then there's like difficult, like sculpting and sculpting on, I don't know, leather, skin. By the way, this is all done on the skin of her enemies. I'm just kidding. Oh, Viking bitch, you are so talented. Wow. I mean, I've seen some of it, but that's like to see it like, wow, that's fucking awesome. Yeah. Comics Division was telling me how much he loved your art. He digs it. He digs it. I'm glad you got a laugh out of that. And I don't want to piss you off. All right. Okay. So I still don't know if we're gonna do Farscape tonight. I'll let you know, Feisty. I'm sorry for the last minute, but I haven't not heard from my wife. But problem is because my phone is dead. Here, I can check my Facebook messages. Let's do that live in the air. Let's do some personal wife communications on a live stream. That's always fun. Oh, looks like we got a date night, so there's no Farscape tonight. Sorry, folks. Sorry for announcing that live in the air. We will do it another night. But yeah, I'm going to see some movie where it's foreign, so everybody will fall in love and die at the end. It's the kind of stuff my wife likes. But she goes to a lot of superhero stuff, so I can't do it live. Storm winds coming my way. Bye, y'all. Uh-oh. Yeah, rough girl, I heard it's been stormy. You be careful. Yeah, thanks. Thanks, guys. Rough girl, you take care. Be safe. Hurricane season. Holy shit. Yeah, okay. I heard there's one foreman down there, like a big one. I can be the third wheel, says Alam. Yeah, okay. I'll live stream our date. You know what our dates are? I'll tell you. We talk. Melissa and I, our friends don't go to movies with us anymore because we talk through the entire movie. We are terrible. We try to sit away from other people, but we just can't stop. Bay making time. Those days are gone, buddy. I mean, listen. I mean, for babies, okay, for babies. Way too old to be a newborn's father. I got two, man. We're good. We're solid. Solid. My 12-year-old is getting so effing tall. It is ridiculous. Our 21-year-old is 6'6" now. So yeah. Smoking does stunt your growth, believe me. All right, folks, I'm gonna wrap this up. Hope we talked about enough today. It was just a lot of babbling, talking to you guys. I hope you had a good time. I did. I had a really good time. I love talking to you guys, and we had 4,000 subs. Hopefully next Monday there'll be a little more news. but I have a yoga date. Yeah, right. Um, so our next video will be the Legion finale. The Legion finale at 8:30 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow night. Please join us. We do go a little longer on our finale videos, so we'll probably go like an hour and a half on that one. Thanks, saying the Nooners. Yeah, I look forward to these every week. I do. Sorry, I didn't have a ton of stuff to talk about, but yeah, we did okay. We did a couple of hours of just babbling. That's fun. It's always good to do. Um, damn, our subs blew up last night too. That was crazy. So yeah, we're at where are we at? Where are we at? Where are we at now? I'm gonna check real quick before I pull up. I'm gonna be here for 5 more minutes at least. So yeah, we're at 4,077 now. That's kind of insane. But at first, I'm gonna keep babbling here, but we're gonna show our patrons. Boom, and I'm gonna share this real quick, and then I'll read some more of your comments there. I know it's just a yellow screen, but I gotta hit play. There we go. Feisty, $3.99. Oh wow, for some extra avocado. Thank you, Feisty. Damn it. I bet he does go Legion. STD says she remembered when she was sweet, like when he was sweet like that. STD Sid, you mean? I said STD. Yeah, I think he does. And they mentioned him killing Farouk, but that's a possible timeline. Avocado from Feisty Avocado. Oh my god, that's a emoji. I got you, Mary. Sid. Closer to 70 than I am to 40, Whippersnacker says, Mudge the Expendable. Mudge the Expendable? I like that name. Yeah, I'm getting there. Wow, that's hardcore to think about, to be honest with you. Nice distracting while editing, says Rob Stufflebeam. That's good. I'm glad I was a distraction. I hope not a terrible one. Season ender are all coming, so there'll be much to claim for storm type deals. The calm before the storm type deals. Duh, I can't read. Okay, season enders are all coming, so there won't be much. The calm before the storm type deals. Yeah. So summer is going to be filled with lots of fun stuff like Boba Hotep and Burn Notice, Briscoe County Jr., Venture Brothers, some movies I want to review in detail, like Watchmen and Krull. We're going to do a lot of fun stuff before when September comes around, dude, we're gonna have. I keep duding you guys. Sorry, it's a SoCal thing. We're gonna have so many. What you guys don't want to look at that. I'm sorry. So many shows that we're going to cover. So it's going to be Orville, Star Trek Discovery, The Gifted, Runaways, Mr. Robot, American Gods. No, that's not till 2019. So yeah. So later this year we have Daredevil season 3. Orville, Star Trek Discovery, Mr. Robot. I know I'm missing something here. The Gifted. I already said Runaways. And there isn't I don't know if Watchmen's coming out later this year. God, I know I'm forgetting something. But we're going to have like 6 or 7 shows we're covering. Happy. Duh. Happy. That was the one I was forgetting. So yeah, you got to check out Happy, even though I'm like really pissed at sci-fi. Also, in 4 days, 12 monkeys. 12 monkeys. So Doomcock gave you permission to not watch Star Trek Discovery. So do I. Spoke with Doomcock briefly. Looks like he's gonna come on Friday. So Doomcock will be on with us Friday. Yeah. Yep. So yeah, we're going to talk some more. We're going to probably talk about that Saturn Award thing and all that good stuff. So, guys, I'm going to let you go. You saw the patrons. And once again, let me thank all you wonderful super chatters. Jesus Christ, you guys were really generous tonight. So, Dakota Stanton for $5. Is it Mary Ashmid? Did I say that right, Mary? Sorry if I didn't. Is for $2. Thank you, Mary. Brian Smart for $5. And your package is I'll email you a tracking later on your package there, buddy. Feisty Fan, $3.99. Thank you, Feisty Fan. You're wonderful. You guys are all great. Thank you again for 4,000 subscribers. We're super, super grateful for that. This is much bigger than we ever thought we'd get. And we are okay being at this size. I love being able to talk to each and every one of you. Okay. And not having to just super chat to do it. I appreciate the super chats, but, you know, as we get bigger, as that stuff goes by, I do have I'm going to guarantee you that we're going to do our very best to keep it like it is. All right. So I got some help. So when the chat starts getting too fast, my boys are going to help me with all the chat stuff. So I'm employing my kids, and yeah, see, they're good to have around, and they're actually nice too. So like you people. So again, thank you very much. Please go to nerdrotic.com for our live recap schedule. Next show is Legion. Wednesday is The Expanse. Thursday is Cloak and Dagger. Friday is Friday Night Tights. Saturday is our first Expanse book review. Don't know how I'm going to do that, but we're going to do it. And then Sunday, Westworld, and then Monday back to the new Nerdrotic Nooner and Farscape. So again, no Farscape tonight. Apologies. Have a date night. And I hope everybody has a wonderful day. Have a wonderful work week. And I'll see you all soon. May the small folks sing songs of your greatness. Bye, everybody.